nothing left to prove. Your threats I find absurd. I am your hell. Every time you think that I'm done, I'll come back stronger.
Hello. Welcome to We Need Wrestling. My name is Brett, and I'm alone. I'm running a solo show. What is happening?
We couldn't possibly let you do this alone.
Oh, hey, Tatum. You said we. Do you have a mouse in your pocket?
You thought you were going to be alone?
Oh, hey, Michelle. Look at this. I have friends. Hello. Welcome to We Need Wrestling. My name's Brett.
I'm Big Tates, and this is the Royal Rumbler.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, it's Michelle.
Big Tate's
Am I the Royal Rumbler?
Yeah. Big Tate's in the Royal Rumble. That sounds like a 90s drive time, like on AM radio.
It sounds
100%.
like it sounds like we're definitely starting either like a weird AM radio show or like a Squirrel Nut Zippers cover band.
Yeah.
I can't name a Squirrel Nut Zipper song.
Me either.
What do they do?
I don't know.
I don't know what they do. Do you know
They
what they
do
do?
like dumb swing music.
The weird Afterlife song.
Is it anything like the Cherry Poppin' Daddies?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Little Zoot Suit Riot?
Voodoo Ska.
Voodoo Glow Skulls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ska. Michelle and I's favorite thing.
Oh, fuck. Ska.
Yeah.
Yay, we're all in agreement. Ska sucks. That's a song, isn't it? I think it's a song. I don't know. It does suck, though.
You know what else sucks?
We don't need ska. What else sucks,
Okay,
Tatum?
new direction about this show.
You know what else sucks?
No, it really grinds my gears.
What's that?
DJ's not here today.
No, so DJ's not here. DJ is on the road. So thanks to Tatum, 2 weeks in a row, Tatum on a wrestling podcast. What's happening?
I don't know who I am anymore. I promise you guys, I will give you a very long break after this week.
And Michelle for stepping up, filling in for the husband.
I am, and not only am I filling in for him as a co-host, but I'm also doing the recording and like producing here. And so if it sucks, that's my fault.
You're doing great.
You're
It
doing
won't
perfect.
suck.
Thank you.
You're doing great. What does Kris Jenner say in that video? You're doing great, sweetheart. Is that a thing?
It doesn't matter. Don't you
nobody know what I'm fucking talking about.
Ever compare my friend to Kris Jenner ever again.
Why? She has a lot of money.
Yeah, that
I mean,
doesn't
I
make
would
her a
love
good
to have a lot of
person.
money, but
Yeah,
I don't want to be anything
Most people
like
with a
her.
lot of money aren't good people.
She got her money by exploiting her entire family.
Welcome to America, Tatum. This is what we're built on.
That's the new American dream.
The new American dream. Let's let DJ tell them where he is and what he's doing.
Yeah, so DJ left a message.
Hey, We Need Wrestling. This is DJ. Long-time listener, first-time caller. It's, let's see, almost 1 a.m. the night before you guys are going to record. And as the listeners probably, hopefully know by now, I'm not there. First time ever, I'm not there. But I didn't want to miss the show completely, so I felt it necessary that I chime in, because what's a week of wrestling news without my voice? Who am I to think that the fine people who listen to this podcast, We Need Wrestling, found it, WeNeedWrestling.com, at We Need Wrestling on social media, should have to go a week without hearing the dulcet tones of my wonderful voice. I did this in secret, so Michelle, no one knows. Brett doesn't know, Michelle doesn't know. I mean, they know I'm not there, but they don't know that I'm recording this message necessarily. Before recording this, I did just finish watching Mayu Iwatani versus Sari from Stardom Grand Queendom, and I'm just going to say that ladies rock, and everyone should check that one out.
He's right.
And I am very excited to probably listen to my first ever episode, honestly, of We Need Wrestling. I hear bits and pieces while I'm editing it normally, but this will be the first time listening, and I'm very excited to have Brett joined by Michelle and Tatum. Tatum, once again, I will ask you why.
No clue.
Michelle's there, but because she's obligated to fill in for me through marriage. But Tatum, you have no excuse for your burgeoning fandom of wrestling. But that being said, I'm glad you're all here to keep an eye on Brett, because who knows what he would be up to on his own. I didn't watch a ton of wrestling this week because, well, I mean, I did. I watched my usual amount. I didn't get to all of Stardom, but I caught myself taking notes about halfway through Collision this week, and Michelle was like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I don't need to take notes." I guess as you're recording it, I'm on my way to Philadelphia to see one of my favorite bands, Stiff Little Fingers, on their last tour of the U.S., which is why I'm missing this show. My apologies, but last tour, couldn't escape it. So, but the fort will be held down. I have utmost confidence in our guest hosts and Brett to wrangle and control everything. Michelle and I did watch the Assigned Wrestling together, and she gracefully put up with my incessant speaking and trying forcibly to teach her things about professional wrestling that she does not want to know about. But I think some of it's stuck, and I think some of it is absorbed, and she's going to have good input and questions. And, so Michelle, to you, thank you for doing this. Thank you for filling in for me.
You're welcome.
You're my PIC. I cannot wait to hear the things you say on this podcast. Don't let them steamroll you. Don't let them sway you from burying wrestling
he doesn't want me to
way, because
start
that is
liking
also
wrestling.
part of your charm and the fun of having you on this show. Brett, my brother, do this show. Have fun. God bless you. And Tatum, again, I ask why.
Me too.
Only half kidding. Very glad to have you here. Thank you for coming up and joining the show and possibly relieving Michelle from having to talk about wrestling straight for an hour. So that's it, I guess. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Watch some good wrestling. Check some stuff out. I'm excited to listen. So the three of you have a great show. Not too great, though, because, I don't want to come back to everyone saying that, oh, it was so great, you should have him on all the time, or even worse, why do you even still need DJ? He's pointless on this show if this is what you put out when he's not around. So do, the best show you possibly can while also leaving room for me to still feel good about myself. I know that may sound like an impossible task, but I promise you it's not. So thank you for not overstepping your bounds and making sure that I still feel like a competent and useful podcaster in the world of professional wrestling, if there ever is such a thing. With that, I'll let you do your thing. See you later. See you next week.
See yous,
DJ. Well, obviously, as DJ explained, he is at a punk rock and roll concert.
Yep.
On a weeknight? Jeez.
On a school night, I know.
How dare he? In his honor, I had DJ had a grilled pastrami sandwich from Vino's in your honor tonight. So
true.
I hope you have fun. I'd say don't fuck it up in the pit, but I don't know what Stiff Little Finger sounds like. So is it moshable?
Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't say so.
Would you circle pit to it?
I wouldn't circle pit to anything really because I would die. But
would you two-step to it?
No.
Michelle,
somewhere in between two-step and circle pit.
Okay.
Michelle, have you ever moshed? Are you a mosher? Did you mosh ever?
Did I mosh in my younger years?
Yeah.
A little, yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's
yeah,
sick.
I did. But in my older years, not so much because I'm delicate.
Tim, you're a mosher. You
I
fucking shit up, bro.
I met my best friend Daria in a mosh pit when we were 15. And
every time you say that, I'm like, Daria from the cartoon.
I know.
But it's still not.
And I got my son into good music and started taking him to shows and took him into his first mosh pit. And now it's just kind of my thing. I told him I will go into any mosh pit he wants me to until I'm 90.
Holy shit.
And I'm almost there.
Oh, you're not even... Stop it now. Are you taking him to see Slipknot on their tour?
No.
Why?
I'll let him go.
The closest they're coming is Camden. August 10th. I'll be there. Can't wait.
Oh, at the, what is it? The BB&T or whatever it is now?
Sure, yes.
The outdoor.
Yeah. Come on, it's going to be real cool. Michelle, you going? playing first self-titled record, 25-year anniversary of that.
I'll go see Slipknot with you.
I saw them when that came out.
See, like, let's go. I'm so excited. Oh, all right, big road trip. We're renting a van. But all right, so as DJ is not here, obviously, I didn't want this to be like the normal format of what we do. Number one, because that's a lot of fucking wrestling to ask both Michelle and Tatum to watch.
And I gave you a time limit.
You did give me a time limit of 2 hours.
That's right.
And I think I adhered to it.
Yes.
I didn't want to overstep it. I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I had a lot of different things. So basically, I assigned 2 matches for Michelle and Tatum to watch. One, which is very near and dear to my heart. I mean, both of them are. The other was a suggestion from somebody else. So when the time comes, I will shout them out. Just to kind of look at, like, some of the pros and cons of what they both feel about the matches. Because we had that talk last week with, Tatum, and, she's very, I feel like, enthusiastic right now with wrestling because a lot of it is new to you. And then Michelle, who
is not enthusiastic about wrestling.
Very sparingly will be like, oh, that wasn't bad. But at the end of the day, is not a wrestling fan. And hey, no problem with that. That's why I think this is going to be a good dynamic, because I was like, hey, pick out, like, 1 or 2 or 3 things, whatever you feel about these matches, and pros, cons, whatever. I'm very curious to hear. And I'll give you background on the matches as, like, we talk about them. Before we do that, though, our friend, young sweet Ed Hayabusa, he sends a 2-parter every week, a 2-part question.
Yes.
Normally I have the drop. The music drop. I don't have it. That's okay. It sounds something like do 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 do, something in Japanese. Do 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 do. That might be a very bad representation, but that's okay. So I'm going to ask this question. Obviously, you guys feel free to answer. First part of the 2-parter. What's everyone's favorite thing about DJ? Mine is during our Thursday of Mania week, finding out he's down to roast people. I love a good let's all make fun of the same person session on account of me growing up verbally bullying people and also verbally bullying people on Twitter. Brett, please explain how this doesn't make me a bad person and how I'm a goofy little guy. So, Ed, my young sweet boy, my sweet baby angel, he's a beautiful soul. He means no harm. He's just a silly little boy doing silly little bits.
I agree, actually, with my request from last week of joining the Discord was granted.
It sure was.
And he might be one of my favorite people on the Discord. Yep. I love reading what he has to say. He seems wildly sarcastic and just, like, very light. He seems like he has a very light soul.
He's a wonderful human being.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know Ed, and it makes me sad, but it's one of the side effects of me not actually liking wrestling.
I'll send you.
Ed doesn't really like wrestling either, to be honest.
Well, Ed, let's hang out.
Yeah, I'll send you his TikTok of him making mac and cheese.
I did see that because and I was like, I really want to teach you how to make a bechamel sauce, but also no.
Yeah, and he got his French bread pizza. He's fine.
Ed, when you come in for Colossal Con, come to the house. Michelle will teach you how to make mac and cheese.
I'll just make it for you.
Or she makes great mac and cheese.
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
And then we'll all go to Knoebels.
Yeah, because he wants to know what everyone's favorite ride at Knoebels is.
Okay, so
His question, though, what's everyone's favorite thing about DJ? Michelle, I feel like you should probably
everybody just looked at me like I should go first.
Yeah.
What's my favorite thing about DJ? Well, it's a really hard question, actually, because I like so many things about DJ.
I would hope so.
He's really funny, and he, there's like all the things that everybody else sees, that he's funny and he makes you laugh. But my favorite thing about DJ is just he's the most supportive person that I've ever met in my entire life. He always has my back. He always, anything I do. And, last year when I was like, I think I'm going to run for fucking political office, which might be like the dumbest idea I've ever had. And he was like, yeah, go for it. And, when I was miserable at my job and I was like, I have to leave and, I'm going to start my own company. He was like, fucking go for it. And he just always has my back. And that's my favorite thing about him.
No, I'm going to fucking cry over here. God damn it. Tatum, go ahead.
No, I love that. I can definitely see that in your marriage and in friendships. I can see DJ is a very supportive, lovely person, and I just think that he's hilarious. And my favorite thing is how much he really tries to pretend to not like me.
The fake beef.
The fake beef. I love fake beef. That didn't sound right.
I mean, it sounds like you're really into like Beyond Burgers or
Yeah.
Impossible Meat.
I do love a Beyond Burger. That's
Yeah. So
my
DJ is your own personal Beyond Burger.
Yep.
Okay. Good. That's I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know.
already weird.
Yeah. Well, DJ, now you're Beyond Burger. Hope you feel better. Let's see. What's my favorite thing about DJ? Other than his rockin' sweet ass, I don't know. That's just like my fucking dude. It's my best friend. It's been for a long time. And it's fucking cool. I don't know. We literally like, I'll get emotional. I can't fucking do that. I can't do that at all. No, I mean, I can just talk to him about whatever. He's always down to like, just go fucking have a good trip. He shows me horror movies and comics, and he doesn't make fun of me too bad for being a noob at it. And I'm like, hey, here's some hardcore bands you should listen to. And he's like, fuck yeah, this rules. So, but no, like, I know, like, him and I, we can talk about literally fucking anything. And it's fucking cool. And that's my fucking dude. And I got his back, number one, since day goddamn one.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met him, I was like, this dude's hilarious. Like you guys said, he's very funny.
Yeah.
Back when he used to be vicious towards people.
Yeah, he's definitely softened.
He self-admittedly is like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything he won't say about himself, you know? Like, yeah. He used to make people not want to go out to dinner because they knew he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is the coolest dude ever.
It was usually people who deserved it.
And that, yeah, it was like, exactly. Like, if he didn't like you, if he doesn't like you, that probably means I don't like you.
Like that fucking guy when we went to that wing night, I don't even remember who it was, who like, I don't know, sort of low key propositioned me for like a threesome. Like he like implied that DJ and I should have a
I
threesome.
remember that fucking loser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene Gill.
Yes.
Yep, I'll say his name. I don't give a fuck. That guy sucks.
I feel like DJ relentlessly made fun of him then.
Yeah, because he looked like a
I was here for
walrus.
it. I don't like to make fun of people's looks, but
No,
also
fuck
don't
that guy. I'll make
proposition
fun
me
of-
for a threesome.
Yeah, that guy sucked. I told him to get off my porch one time, otherwise I was going to beat the shit out of him in front of my grandmother. That guy's terrible. But DJ's not terrible. DJ's the fucking man. And
TJ is the man.
I think we're all better off for having him in our lives, to be honest.
Yeah.
So DJ, you fucking rock, and I love you forever. Ed's second part of his two-parter. Twice is rumored to announce a new world tour this summer.
Who is?
Twice.
I don't know what that is.
Is their Ed's favorite band.
Oh.
They're a K-pop group.
Oh, it's K-pop.
And he's a once because they're twice. And if you love them once, then they love you twice.
Oh.
He explained it one time. I don't know. I think that's how it went. Okay. But they're rumored to announce a new world tour this summer. So that, the tour announcement, not the actual tour, just the announcement, will be the highlight of my summer. What are you looking forward to with summer coming up?
Oh, do I have to go first
You don't
again?
have to, Tim.
Oh my
You go
God.
first.
I have no idea.
What am I looking forward to with summer coming up? My son is a junior in high school, so this summer is all about looking at colleges and finally getting him behind the wheel of a car. So those are the biggest things. We're doing lots of trips to see different schools, and other than that, I don't have anything crazy planned because of that. We were supposed to go to see Slow Dive in North Carolina in a few weeks, which was going to be like super exciting, and then they scheduled prom on the same night.
Oh, gotta go to prom.
And
I didn't go to my prom. What the
he's
fuck
got to
am I
go to
saying?
prom, you know?
Yeah,
I went to prom.
Yeah, but if you're listening, Don't go to prom.
He's not listening.
Prom's overrated. I didn't go to my graduation. I went to a hardcore show instead. Go to more hardcore shows. I'm kidding. I missed out on a lot. Anything else that you're doing with him, or anything just yourself?
Oh, actually, yes. I am going on an all-women's motorcycle camping weekend with a couple of my girlfriends.
Fuck yeah.
I love that.
That's really
sick.
excited. We tried to talk Michelle into coming with us and being like the chase car.
Oh, that would have been real cool.
I know, right?
Oh.
But yeah, so a couple of my girlfriends and I are riding our motorcycles to upstate New York and camping out for the weekend with like 500 other women.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's wild.
It'll be real rad. If you happen to listen to this and you're at Babe's Ride Out, come find me.
That's amazing.
Michelle, you don't want to be a chase car?
I want to go so bad, but like
You have a lot of commitments.
I just
in
feel
your
You
like
have a lot of
life
You
commitments.
have a lot of
crazy. Yeah. Well,
You're a
and
busy bee.
I feel like things were going in like a certain direction that was fine, and then my mom
Yes.
had an injury, and it's been a difficult recovery, and she's working so hard, but like that has derailed a lot of things.
Yeah.
More so for her, obviously, but I'm glad to be able to help her where I can. But like it's changed the trajectory of my summer.
Absolutely. No, I get that. Do you have anything this summer that you're looking forward to?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm looking forward to maybe in the summer there won't be like quite as many fucking political ads for a little while. Like, things have a little bit of a lull in the summer, and I would love I would love
That
people
fall
to
stretch
just
is coming though.
yeah, like I would love to people to just shut the fuck up for like 2 months before like the whole
The full
mess
court
of this
press.
fall. Yeah, before our democracy dies. But no, I don't think so. I mean, I was really looking forward to the Metal Fest, which we only got to do like half of, but we got to go to that. And I don't know what else we really have going on, but hopefully we'll get out to a couple of fun concerts or shows and do some cool traveling. I just can't wait to get out and hike.
Yeah.
I just want it to be nice. And I'm like looking forward to a summer that's calmer, because last year I was running for office. And so this year I'm not, and I can like go out and work in my garden, and then like I can sit out on my deck and drink a beer and sit down and,
I know. Michelle and I are only 1 week apart, exactly 1 week apart, and we are going to throw a super soft birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's what we need.
Oh boy.
With a cupcake decorating station and a horse dressed like a unicorn.
I know what you're talking about because I watched that episode. All right. All right. I'm down for that.
I love it.
Let's see. I don't enjoy the summer, to be honest. I just don't. I don't know why. I'm a fall, winter guy. I like the cold. It's just
Gross.
who I am. If you don't, go move to Florida. I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
I moved here from Arizona.
Yeah, that's true. That's a different
yeah.
type of heat out there. But I mean, it's always fun for like concerts and stuff. Like August 10th, Slipknot and Knocked Loose in Camden. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, Knocked Loose is opening for them. How wild is that?
I'm excited for that.
That's crazy.
I want to go to that.
Yeah, let's go. It's a Saturday.
I want to go to there.
All right, we're gonna go to there. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. I don't do much. I don't have much responsibility, to be honest. I don't know. I just do what I want, and it's cool.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I choose. Most of it's chosen not to do or not to have responsibilities like that. So I don't know. Maybe the end of August, DJ and I might go to DC for New Japan. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? It's a long way away. So
It is. But I think that you should go. So
I'd like to go because it's like our annual yearly trip. So, and it's on a Friday this year, which is kind of weird, but that's also the start of my 2-week off vacation that I normally take that time of year anyway. So
I really want to go to Mothman Festival in September.
where is that? West Virginia?
Probably
Yeah,
in West Virginia.
It's in West Virginia.
Let's go.
I think it seems awesome. I don't know why.
That'd be fun as fuck. All right, so
My favorite cryptid.
there are other questions. They'll be addressed later after we talk about what we're going to talk about. So,
All right.
on Saturday, I sent you guys 2 matches. I said, hey, again, I don't want to bombard you with a ton of wrestling, but I'm going to send you 2 matches, and I want you to watch them, take some notes. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about with them. So, the first match that I sent, and I'll explain why. This is from January 4th, 2017. Which
Can I guess
seems
why?
forever ago. Go ahead. Guess why?
Because this is when, well, we know that you love New Japan.
Yes.
And this is when New Japan was going worldwide. And this was the fight to see who was going to be the face of the global New Japan.
Essentially, yeah. So at this point, it's from Wrestle Kingdom 11,
Yes.
which is basically New Japan's like WrestleMania. It's
Yes.
the January 4th show at the Tokyo Dome. Always the biggest show of the year. This was for the IWGP title, the champion Kazuchika Okada, the challenger Kenny Omega. So there's a tournament every year in New Japan called the G1.
The what?
The G1. It's the G1 Climax.
Jesus fucking
That doesn't sound like it's wrestling.
So
It's not.
It's a round robin tournament every year. The winner gets to challenge for the heavyweight championship at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
And I believe Omega, I don't know, did Rick Rude win the G1? I don't forget. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's okay. Omega is like one of the only people that's non-Japanese to ever win the tournament. So in Japan as well, you have your junior heavyweights and your heavyweights, and it's like very strict. Like they don't really intermingle a lot unless it's in like a tag match or something. And Omega worked his way up from the junior heavyweights to heavyweight,
Okay.
and he goes and he wins the whole thing. So the landscape around this time, 2017, like New Japan was definitely getting a buzz. It wasn't fully like full blown yet. New Japan World, I think it might have been like a year or two old at that point. So this was definitely like hey, this is a really big match, English commentary. We're trying to get that international audience.
Right.
Because Omega is from Canada.
Yes.
Even before this, he didn't do like a ton in the United States. He did like some Ring of Honor, but it wasn't anything great.
Winnipeg, right?
Yes, very good. Yes, he is from Winnipeg. Yes.
That's where they were last night.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were there last night.
AEW.
So I wanted to tie it in for a couple different reasons. So I knew that Omega was going to be on TV last night. So I figured, okay, you're going to see him and see who he is, and I know he can't wrestle right now.
Why did you know that he was going to be there? Just
They
because they
announced it
were
last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they announced.
Got it.
Yeah, so he's been out for about 4 months now because dealing with his diverticulitis. That's real. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a joke or anything. Like he was in the hospital. They said, "Hey, he almost died." You know.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted you to see him because he is incredible and he is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I wanted you to see Okada because Tatum and I talked last week. Like I wasn't feeling Okada.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see him in a different stage, like really being himself. Also, I wanted you to watch it because last week you watched Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are referring to that as one of the best matches ever.
Yeah.
This match is like, I'm not going to say universally like said as the best match ever. There's a website that DJ and I and a lot of other people use. It's called Cage Match. And there's like match ratings and stuff. And if you like do their like file by rating, this is the highest rated match ever. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do feel that this is the best wrestling match ever. Mm-hmm. Like it is what it is. So I wanted you to see it for that reason. Michelle, I wanted you to see this as well for that reason also, as that like a lot of people do view this as the best wrestling match that's ever happened. So yeah, this is from January 4th, 2017, which seems like an actual lifetime ago.
I mean, yeah,
this point,
for
like,
sure.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the days where I wasn't even waking up to watch this live yet. Like, I'd catch it the next day. So why, again, that's why I wanted you to watch it. So there's a couple polarizing things about it. It's 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
That was my first thought.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
When you sent it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because it was so long. And I was just like, okay, I guess he's going to take up, like, I gave him a 2-hour time limit. He's going to do it all in one match. And, like, I was trying to stay positive, but, like, that was my overwhelming thought was, like, this is so long.
Okay.
So long.
Yeah.
But
So I felt very similarly about that. And I said about the Danielson Ospreay match as well. I was like, this did not have to be as long as it was. And that wasn't even nearly as long as this.
Yeah.
One of my first things that I wrote down was when was that Okada match that I saw? Was that in the pay-per-view?
Yeah, that was a Dynasty, so that was not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before.
Okay. So when we had talked about that, I was like, he's obviously a prick. He's a heel, whatever. I don't like his energy. I don't like his cocky energy, right? When I watched the beginning of this, I felt that more about Omega.
Mm, yep.
Kenny Omega is a cocky fuck. He is very arrogant. His like poses, the Terminator poses and all of that stuff, I thought was like so over the top. And also, in 2017, he had 2005 emo scene hair.
He's Canadian. They're behind. Sorry, Silverthorne. Love
They're
you.
not.
it's so funny because I felt completely different. So, but I already knew who Kenny Omega is because
Right.
because I have been subjected to a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
And so even though I don't like wrestling, I've actually watched like quite a bit of it. But so I know he used to be like best friends with the guy with the drinking problem who dressed like Temple Grandin,
Yep.
but now he dresses like John Moxley.
Yep, Hangman
So
Adam
like, yeah.
Oh yeah, Hangman.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he and they both dress like Joan Jett, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, truly.
But so like I know him in that way, and I know that he's like friends with the Young Bucks, so I judge him immediately.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
I
as well.
fucking
They were
hate them.
They were side ring for this.
Oh, I hate them so much. I really like. I have actual contempt for the two of them, and I mean, part of that is because I know like there are like I've heard stories, and they wronged April, Joe's wife, and you don't.
No. That woman is a saint.
She's a saint. We love her, and you don't wrong her. But yeah, I felt like Kenny Omega was like a real dorky in this one. Like I felt like he was like super fucking dorky, and Okada was just like I even wrote that down. Like he's just like way cooler, and like also he's very sparkly, which I like because I like.
I did.
Sequins.
I loved his outfit that he was wearing in when his entrance with
With his big robe. Yeah.
right, but
he
it
was
was
so
like
sparkly.
it was all sequins. And of course, I mean, last week I called Danielson Ospreay glitter pants versus
Yes,
panties.
glitter
So
pants
of
versus
course,
panties, yes.
these are things that I'm paying attention to as well.
Yeah, that's what I pay
also,
attention
Young
to.
Bucks on the side were wearing bell bottoms that were
The
fringes,
fringiest,
and
yes.
that was the dumbest shit.
That was their look before the weird, like, we're business people thing that they're doing now.
Yeah.
Like, before that, their look was like, I'm going to wear these pants that flare way too much and the fringe just isn't quite long enough.
Yeah.
And so, like, it just, I don't know, just way too much shoe. Like, their pants are just too
much
short.
Too
Yeah, like,
short.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
be able to see that much of your shoe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Have we learned nothing as a society about the length of your pants? But yeah, I also, those Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, but I guess we can let them go for the moment because they're not actually in this match.
Yes.
So, so what I will say about this, even though it was really long, those boys are really fucking athletic. I loved the athleticism in this match, actually. Towards the end, I started feeling like if I hear these announcers go, Rainmaker, no, One-winged angel. No, Rainmaker. No, one-winged angel. Like back and forth, like who's gonna do which one, and they kept like kicking out of it and do whatever. It was like I can't hear that again, but they are so athletic, and the timing of everything,
there's no misstep in the whole thing.
Where are my notes? Oh, the coordination looks believable.
Everything is so
in
crisp
everything
in this match. Yeah,
it was. But Michelle disagrees, and I love it.
No,
this is what I wanted. Yes.
I don't necessarily disagree. I just felt like the end of the match was like really telegraphed. Like,
oh yeah.
And yeah, like I knew from the beginning that like just because you could tell with the pacing of wrestling, like who's going to win by like how much somebody else is doing better at the beginning. And so like just the amount of time that like Kenny Omega was like dominating the match, like I feel like it becomes
Okada was gonna win.
Exactly. It becomes obvious that Okada's going to win. And so like there was like a point. I agree with Tatum that like they kept calling like their final move, the finisher.
The fatalities.
Yeah. They kept like calling those out. And there was like this moment where it felt like the natural end of the match. And then it went on for like 20 more minutes. And literally, I was like,
not like,
literally. And I just felt like that was a little too much. You know what I mean? I just felt like they could end it 20 minutes earlier and they wouldn't have lost anything. Because it was good up to that point, but then everything after that point felt repeated.
It was repeated over and over. But it was really good to that point.
So the general rule of thumb in wrestling, and I feel like DJ shares this, Joe shares this, you have a match time, you could shave 2 minutes off everything.
Yeah.
Everything could be shorter, everything could be tighter. For this, I do every 45 minutes, it's polarizing. It's very like, I know people that like absolutely love this match and swear by it, and I'm one of them. But I know the people that are like, it's too fucking long. It's too much. When this match happened, and I was like showing this to people, I'm like, yo, you gotta watch this. A lot of the main complaint was, like I don't feel like they did much the first like 15 minutes of the match.
That's because you had to wait until
which they did. I mean, they did. When you go back and watch it, they do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a 45-minute match worked at the pace of like a 10-minute match.
Yeah.
Where it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
Like, and normally 45-minute matches are not like that. A lot of resting, catching your breath. These two just fucking go for it. There's a couple parts of the match where I feel really stand out. Where Omega goes to do the dive over the top rope and lands through the table.
Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Okada takes like that like full Nelson suplex off the top rope and lands on his head.
Yes.
When Doug watched it, he goes, "Hey, don't ever do that again." Like he's like, "Okada, I love you, buddy. Don't ever do that again."
Well, and I don't know if it was that point. Like there was one part where it was like my favorite part of the whole match. But I thought it was like really funny. But then DJ was like, "Oh no, he's trying to like do something because he's a good wrestler." But like he like got thrown out of the ring. And he got thrown like out past the one barricade, and so he was like next to the commentary table, and then he was like, they kept like showing him up close, and he was like kicking the commentary table, and I'm like, what is he doing? He's just trying to like knock it down, and I thought it was hilarious because it felt like something that the camera wasn't supposed to be like watching him do. But it was really, I was like, is he just like pissed? What's he doing? And DJ's like, no, watch. He's trying to set this up. And he's like trying to move them out of the way because there was like something else coming. But I still feel like the camera wasn't supposed to be like watching him push this table away. And it was making me laugh so hard because he's like literally just like laying on his back, taking both feet, trying to push the commentary table back.
Yeah. There were, I think they each had a time where when over the ropes and like corkscrewed or did whatever over the ropes and landed on the other one. I think when Omega did it, he corkscrewed and like literally hit Okada like right on the shoulder or whatever and like totally knocked him out. And a few times he like kicked Okada right in the back of the head and in the back of the neck. And it was like, that was really intense. And I was like, I know this guy is going to win, but he's getting beat the fuck out of.
There's one where Okada's back is turned to Omega. And Omega's on the top rope. And Omega drop kicks off the top rope right to the back of Okada's head. And it's fucking so gnarly.
I have that written down right here.
Like, it's seriously, it's like, holy shit when it happens.
Now write that down.
Like, another thing, like, why I wanted to show you guys this too is, like, this is a different presentation of wrestling. You know, obviously, what you guys see when we're watching it or you're watching it, you know, is WWE, AEW. It's presented a different style. This is New Japan. A lot less camera cuts, a lot less like crash TV.
Yeah. A
lot of like just let announcers lay out and let the moment happen and let the crowd roar. And there's just a lot of like singular shots that just happen. And I always love that about them. I love the way they present wrestling. It's not like, you know, punches and here's 4 camera cuts and cameras are shaking when like spots are happening.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
and there wasn't a single like snake hologram with a hat on singing a rap song.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Little Wayne didn't come out. You
Right.
know,
Exactly. Yeah. There's like
there was no
rappers
dancing around.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I was like, okay, I think this will be pretty cool for you guys to see this too. Just because it is that different presentation.
Yeah.
You know, I personally, it's my favorite type of presentation when it comes to wrestling. I don't think anybody does it better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love this match so much. So when I sent it to you, I watched it first because I was like, okay, let me like really make sure and like that this is something that they could watch. Because I didn't remember getting overly violent or anything, and it doesn't, you know.
No, there was no blood.
Yeah, and that was like one thing too. I didn't want to say anything with like blood.
Because you remember that one time that I watched
the
Dark Side of the Ring and I cried.
Yeah. I have the picture on my phone of you gripping a pillow still. You were very upset watching that.
I was. It's gross.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking.
Yeah. So do you guys have any other thoughts on this match?
I do.
I do as well, but I'm going to let Tatum go first.
This is perfect.
My main gripe with this match, other than the length of it, was the obvious hesitation between the third count on almost every single one.
Okay.
That
How dare you disrespect Red Shoes Uno? He's the best referee ever.
he actually had some really incredible ref moments
he's
as well that I saw, and he was there were things that he was like trying to keep on track, and I thought that he was really good, but there were definitely moments that a lot of moments that there was an obvious hesitation before the third count. The timing between the numbers was not even, and the kick out was just before the third. Those are my only 2 real gripes with it. I thought that this was a great match. I liked the style, and I loved the athleticism.
Perfect. Michelle?
I actually this was not as painful. Like I said up front, like I saw 45 minutes and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cursing you a little bit, Brett, as much as I love you. But then when I watched it, like it wasn't so bad. I do have to say, I also told Brett this ahead of time, but like DJ put it on New Japan World and we watched it together, and that was like one of my biggest pros, is that like DJ was so excited to watch it with me, and he was like so excited to tell me different things. And so like I like that he's excited about it. I hate wrestling, but I like that DJ loves wrestling, and so I was like excited to just watch it for that purpose.
He's the passionate man.
But I watched the stuff leading up to the match, and it had subtitles. It was like in Japanese and had English subtitles. And I was like, like for whatever reason, I forgot how to like read subtitles or something. I don't know. I watch like Kung Fu movies are like some of my favorite movies. I've watched so many subtitled movies and I feel like I'm good at it. But then this came on and for whatever reason, my brain with like subtitles and wrestling did not work. And so I was like, oh no, is all the commentary going to be like subtitled? Because
I thought that in the very beginning as
I
well.
panicked. Like for whatever reason, I could not like switch back and forth the same way I can with movies. I don't know. So I was relieved it wasn't. But there was like one moment where, so I guess DJ was telling me because I was like talking about all the guys in all the same shirts around. And then there was like one guy in a Nirvana shirt. Mm-hmm. But he was saying that they're all like trainees.
They are, yes. Young boys.
And so when Okada was like on the ground kicking the table, I was like, why is that guy holding him down? And I thought somebody was holding him down. And DJ was like, oh no, he knows what he's doing. He definitely wasn't. I'm like, he held him down. I swear he held him down. And DJ said his name was Master Watto.
Yeah, that's DJ's
which
favorite wrestler.
I think is the guy from I think it's like the little blue guy from Phantom Menace.
He is blue. He has blue hair. I'm gonna have to pull up a picture of him.
But yeah, I was very confused by I'm like, he's holding him down, but DJ said he wasn't. And I don't know, I don't remember what happened, but DJ also like told me to ask you. Oh yeah. See, he did not look like
There's
that
Master
there.
Watto.
But I don't remember why, but DJ told me to ask you what his biggest wrestling pet peeve is.
So one of his biggest pet peeves is when we're at indie shows and people run up and start pounding on the ring.
That was it, I think.
Yeah, he fucking hates that.
Yeah, and they were doing that a little, but he said he didn't mind it as much.
When fans do it. He hates when the fans do it. Because he's like, you're not a fucking wrestler, don't touch the ring.
Yeah.
He hates that.
I get that.
Yeah, it is annoying. I do agree. All right, so I'm very happy. Anything else about this match?
The one last thing I'll say is that it was insane after Okada won, and there were like people weeping in the crowd.
I was going to bring that up. Like,
Yeah.
you saw women who were weeping.
There was a woman who was like literally crying, and I'm like, is that his girlfriend? And DJ was like, I don't know.
No, I think it's just like more. It's a different kind of passionate fandom, right?
Yeah,
it
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wept over when my favorite wrestler retired. I cried.
Who was that?
The Great Muda.
Oh, that's right.
Wrestler. Bawled my eyes out like a little bitch. Never cried when he won a match, though.
I mean, to be fair, sometimes I bawl my eyes out like a little bitch when there's like a dog on a commercial.
Oh, I do that all the
just
time.
There.
There's nothing wrong with
He doesn't even have to be doing anything sad. It's just there is a dog.
Yeah.
and
I cry.
And I cried.
So
Yeah, so
I might have a little too much stress.
awesome. So yeah, like all right, I'm very happy that you two. All right, so would you say liked it or didn't like it?
No, I liked it.
Okay.
Like I liked this better than the Danielson Ospreay
Okay,
match.
all right. Wow. Okay, because that's saying something. That's okay.
I could have done with it being 15 minutes shorter, but I liked it. I did like it better. And it was a similar kind of vibe as well.
And another thing, like, and I kind of brought this up to you before, Michelle. Like, I didn't want to throw you a match that's just in full Japanese commentary, because I didn't want you guys to be like, "What the fuck is this? Who's that? What are they doing? Why is this happening?" You know. So like growing up, like when you're watching Japanese wrestling, and DJ will tell you this as well. We didn't have like English commentary for Japanese wrestling.
Right.
It was just like, and this is more so in DJ's days, they were tape trading, and you would get videotapes and like just VHS and hey, here's a match listing, here's who's who, and have fun. But you didn't get English commentary, you know. New Japan having that really helped their audience in the States exploded, you know, because I do think like, okay, it's 2024. if you're like a Japanese wrestling company, you should probably have the option for English commentary. They do it. This other company called Pro Wrestling Noah, they do it. Go
Can I
ahead.
ask a question? I
course.
have my hand raised.
No, go
for those
ahead.
of you who can't see. Do we have Japanese commentary?
Yeah.
We do?
WWE and AEW, they have like English, Spanish, I believe like Indian. I know it's not the language, but Japanese. They tons of commentary,
Okay.
tons of different options.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't expecting something that we wouldn't do.
No.
That doesn't sound like American.
That doesn't
Tatum.
sound American, yeah.
No, they
I don't know what you're talking about. We're so
WWE
culturally sensitive and good at that.
Like they air on TV over in Japan, like you
Yeah.
know, so
Right, and I
there's
knew
everything.
that,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it is kind of like let's catch up with the times a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
And I hope that does happen moving forward. But yeah, this match really did help explode New Japan onto like the American audience.
I can see why.
I feel like so now all my wrestling is running together a little bit. I feel like the commentary was terrible on this. And DJ and I were talking about it a little, and now I don't remember if it was actually this match that was terrible commentary or not.
Okay.
Because he was saying something they had like 2 play-by-play or like nobody was actually doing.
Yeah.
Like
So the commentary on this match was done by Kevin Kelly, who's an actual scumbag. Fuck that guy forever now.
yes, it was this match that I hated
'cause
the commentary.
He's a shithead now, and I will say his work in New Japan was like amazing. Then he came over to the States and it was real bad, and then he wants to try to pick on people who are nice people, and so fuck him. And the other one was Steve Corino. He was a wrestler in ECW. He's been a coach in WWE for a long time now. I used to enjoy their commentary quite a bit in New Japan, but I can see how commentary could take you out of a match. It does happen.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't for me. It didn't take me out of the match necessarily, but I felt like a lot of the commentary, like, they just didn't sound informed.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm used to, like, football commentary because I, like, that's, if I'm going to pick a sport that I've watched the most of my life, it's football. Sure. Like, I'm a football fan. I've stopped watching football, but that's more because of, like, the politics behind it. And Roger Goodell is a fucking... shithead, yeah. So but I like, that's what I'm used to. Yeah. And it felt like nobody was well informed, and nobody actually knew what like anything was. And so it didn't feel like it was informing me of anything, and it didn't feel like it was adding like excitement either.
Right.
So I just felt like it felt a lot like Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, where they're both doing play-by-play, and like, yeah, like it didn't feel like anybody was actually giving any like interesting like color commentary.
Okay. Would you give it a like or a dislike
for the match? I mean, as far as like knowing that I dislike all wrestling, yeah, I would say I liked it because I didn't feel like super anxious for it to be over until like I would say the last 15 minutes, okay, where I just felt like they were repeating things. But even then I felt like it was entertaining enough that I wasn't like, oh my fucking God, get this off my TV.
What was DJ's response to it?
I mean, DJ talked about it being one of his like favorite matches, and he said it was like legitimately one of the best matches of all time. Yeah. And he, talked about how like Okada is like the absolute best at what he does, but he also talked about how like Kenny Omega is like this amazing wrestler. And so between the two of them, like I kept saying that I felt the end was telegraphed, and he's like, that's because they're good storytellers, yes, and they know how to like actually tell a story in the ring. Mm-hmm. And he was like talking about how like New Japan doesn't have as much like storytelling leading up to the matches. Correct.
Right.
Like, WWE is a full-blown fucking soap opera.
That's all they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then AEW is definitely trying to balance more of like what New Japan does with like what WWE has. So like they have more storylines, and they have some like fun little characters, which I feel like when you watch WWE like in the 80s, it's all characters.
Absolutely.
And AEW has like a couple of them where they're bringing it back. but then they also have more of like the real wrestling.
Yes.
And so, like, he was talking about how they have to tell the story in the ring.
Yeah.
And he said, like, he felt I was actually picking up on that a lot more than what I realized.
He's
Yeah.
100% right.
Yeah.
And that is, like, the conception, like, with AEW is a lot of people, they get a lot of online trolling shit of, oh, well, there's no stories. There are, but does focus more on the in-ring, you know?
Yes.
And, like, when I watch wrestling... Listen, like, yeah, do I want there to be somewhat of a story? I do. You know, I definitely do. And AEW drops the ball on that more, sometimes. I'm not going to say quite a lot. They do. They just drop the ball. But where WWE, it's like a 2-hour show and there's 20 minutes of wrestling, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like, last time in AEW, one of their matches was over 20 minutes. So you look at that and you go, what do you want out of wrestling? If you want more of the in-ring stuff, then you're probably going to like AEW more. If you want more of the stories and the storylines and the drama, you're probably going to like WWE more. That's just it. And there is no right or wrong. If you like what you like, you know. Like Tim and Marcus, they lean more towards WWE. Mm-hmm. You know, Joe and Adam, they lean more towards AEW. DJ doesn't really watch WWE. I catch it when I can. Like, I do love AEW. There's a lot wrong, but I do love it. I try to focus more on like Japanese stuff. It's what I want out of my wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what DJ really prefers too.
Yeah. I noticed that as well because I have also added odds to my weekly listening.
Oh my God, you're fully pilled.
Well, listen, I felt like I needed to support everybody on the network. I needed to at least see where they're coming from. So I wanted to start the soon to be named network.
Oh, very good.
And so yeah, I was like slowly adding in, and I noticed that in the things that you guys all talk about, and I was like, oh great, there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah, and that's why like I think it's a good balance between the three shows. Like there is crossover, no doubt, but like
Michelle is so disappointed in me.
Listen, Michelle, you're not going to save her. You know why? She doesn't want to be saved. That's why.
I say this all the time. Like, I love you no matter what. You can watch what you want to watch. I love you for who you are. And if that's a wrestling fan, that doesn't make me love you less. So
I'm still going to take you to brunch to make up for it.
I want to go to brunch. I like brunch.
Brunch all around.
Brunch all around.
I love brunch. I don't like Brenner, though. DJ.
Hey, breakfast is good. At any time.
I like breakfast for dinner. I don't like Brenner.
He calls it Brenner because of Scrubs.
Yeah. I never watched Scrubs.
So,
don't.
Just very quickly before we get into the next match, last night, was it Collision last night? Or
no, last night was Dynamite. And then after Dynamite was Rampage, which normally airs Friday nights, but it didn't.
Got preempted by something.
Probably, I think hockey playoffs.
Hockey playoffs. Yeah, I did watch that. But so then Omega came out and he was talking and whatever. And I texted you immediately, hey, that's the guy from my homework.
Yep.
And then when Okada came out, I was like, holy fuck, did you know that this was going to happen? So I have to ask now here. Did you assume that it may happen?
Yeah. So last week on the show when we talked about it a little bit, I said it might not even been last week. It might have been the week before. I said to DJ, I go, because Omega about getting physical, whatever. I said, all you need to do is have him and Okada face to face.
Yeah.
Like have them face to face in an AEW ring. It's going to be a great visual, just because there is so much history there. Yeah. And like I said, it is often referred to as the best rivalry in Japanese wrestling history.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I hope it happens. I have a feeling it's going to happen. And then it did happen, and I was losing my mind when it happened. Just because, like, as you see, and this was their first match together, the one you guys watched.
Yes.
There's a series of matches with these two, and every one is a fucking barn burner.
Yeah.
Like, every single one. There's one that goes an hour. Woof, woof.
Sorry.
There's one that goes an hour. Like, just an hour time limit draw. I thought I was like, no, not going to send you that because draws are kind of whatever.
I would have been pissed.
And a lot of people get pissed at draws. There's a match in the G1 Climax tournament where those have time limits of like 20 or 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Then there's the one from their second biggest show of the year called Dominion, where Omega finally beats him for the belt. And like every single one is fucking just like insane. But this was the one where I'm like, okay, here's your first one. Like this is the first showdown between the two. And again, it's referred to as like the best match of all time. A lot of people do feel that way. All right. So moving on to the second match that I had both of you watch. So I was kind of torn on what I wanted to send you. So I reached out to my man, the big guy himself, Mr. Marcus from Final Wrestling Place. And I said, hey, Marcus.
Shout out, Marcus.
Shout out, Marcus.
I think my question was, if you were to show a match to somebody who is new into wrestling and kind of enthusiastic about it, which would be you, Tatum, and also somebody who's down on wrestling / hates it, which
That's
is you,
me.
Michelle, I said, what would you show them?
So he definitely knew that we were on that.
Yes. So yeah. So I had
That was a dead giveaway.
well, no. So I didn't reveal it to him till Sunday.
Okay.
I did let him know. I'm like, I was like kind of working on something. And he did ask me. He's like, "This is what you're working on." I was like, and then I told him on Sunday. Shout out to my dog. So I was, I asked him that question. So he sent me a list, and when this was on there, I go, okay, this is good. But before we talk about this match, Marcus had a question.
Okay.
Which this is gonna be fun. What's your favorite wrestling move?
Is that a real question? Like,
Yeah.
am I supposed to know a
You're supposed to
move?
know names of moves.
Oh my God. So I only know the name. Well, no, I'm lying. I know the name of 2 wrestling moves. I'm going to tell you them both. The one I know because my best friend my childhood best friend, we've been best friends for, 20, I don't know,
20 lot of
27 years
Yeah.
maybe. And she loves wrestling.
Uh-huh.
So I've been surrounded by wrestling my entire life.
Oh, maybe it's you.
I don't know. Maybe I go out and I seek
Might be you.
out wrestling people. Yeah.
Hi, Aaron.
But yes, my best friend Erin loves wrestling. She loves Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels. And she used to be a valet in a local wrestling company called VCW.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a moonsault and broke her elbow, and it was disgusting.
Yep.
And I was like, you're a fucking idiot, and I love you so much. And her elbow is still, to this day, like a little bit deformed. So I know a moonsault,
Okay.
and I think I know what it looks like, even. I think it's the one where you stand on the ropes and you jump. It's just forward. No, it's backwards, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. And then you land.
You land on the person.
Yeah, to pin them. And I feel like somebody just did this, and it was like, I don't know, what's her name? Io Shirai.
Yes, Io
maybe?
Shirai, because sometimes she likes to put a trash can over her and then jump off the top of the cage onto people, too.
Yeah.
We love Io Shirai.
I do love her. If I had to pick a favorite wrestler, she would be like in
You're a fan.
contention there.
Methinks the lady doth
No,
protest too much.
I hate it. And then the only other wrestling move that I know is a suplex, because they were saying German suplex a lot in this next match, and then I asked DJ if there's a regular suplex, and he said no. There's a vertical suplex, and then I asked if the German suplex is horizontal, and he said no, that's stupid.
Oh God damn it!
But I don't understand. It's like overwhelmed or underwhelmed, but you can't just be whelmed.
Right.
Why isn't there a regular suplex?
A souffle.
Souffle.
Tatum, how about you? Since you're a new wrestling fan and you know the names of moves already.
Right. No, I mean, I don't know the names of moves already.
I know.
I do like the moonsault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty. And EO does a great one.
It is really pretty, and I feel like I've been seeing people do them like while people are standing, like onto people's necks.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
That's cool.
Well, it's dangerous, and you could dislocate your elbow, and the bone will stick out of the skin, and it's disgusting.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, and
Good,
also red means green.
Fuck yeah, that's right. Let's go.
I don't know what that means.
It means if you bleed, you make more money in wrestling.
Yuck.
Red equals green, brother.
Well, you have lovely elbows. Let's keep them
you.
intact, okay?
I do have lovely elbows.
She was talking to me. Excuse me.
I mean,
You also have lovely elbows. You're both beautiful.
they're intact. They're fully
Yes,
intact.
let's
I never
leave
did
them
anything to
intact.
my elbows. We're good. Never injured them.
No, I love a good like jump kick across the ring
Okay.
where they like kick somebody in the chest or the face. That's
Like like a shotgun drop kick.
yeah, there we go.
Okay, perfect.
And also in the last match that we talked about, there were a couple of times where they would like go over the ropes and go like do
like
that
a
kind
dive
of thing.
onto somebody?
Like yeah, but like
Like a flip onto somebody.
flip or yeah, I enjoy that.
A senton.
Yes.
There we go.
I need people, like, if I'm going to watch wrestling, I need you to be flippy, but, like, not too flippy.
Yes.
Like, there's a fine line. I don't need you to be like
agree with
Yoda
that.
in
There's
the
a fine
prequels.
line.
That's gonna come into play in this next chat then.
It will. Marcus, my favorite wrestling move is the sharpshooter. And why? Because Bret Hart was never wrong. We
What's
love
the sharpshooter?
Sharpshooter
that is.
is the best wrestling move of all time. It's a submission hold where guy's laying on his back on the ground. You pick his legs up in each hand. You put your right leg through. You cross their leg. You flip them over. And you put them in the sharpshooter.
Yeah, wait. Who just had to tap out because of that?
Oh, yeah. Claudio Castagnoli used it
So-
on Dynamite last night.
Yeah.
Against Brian Cage. That
Yep.
was a sharpshooter.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is as good a time as any, I guess, to bring up the thing that I learned about myself this week watching wrestling.
Ooh, let's go.
I don't like submission holds as
No?
an end of a match. It felt like a cop-out.
A cop-out.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It felt
Okay.
like I want you to be like, I want a pin.
You want
This-
a
like, I don't like
decisive
when
one,
they-
two,
You want a
three count.
decisive,
Yeah, like I don't like when they like do the submission hold and tap out.
Okay.
I did not enjoy that. And the 2 times that I saw it this week.
All right. So that leads us into the second match that we watched.
Yep.
So this is from August 25th, 2002.
SummerSlam.
Yes. Beautiful SummerSlam, which is WWE's second biggest show of the year. It's always WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
I object to that
you
because
can
I
say
feel like
Royal
Royal
Rumble.
Rumble should be the
Okay.
second biggest.
Yeah, no, you can
think-
say Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble should be the first biggest.
I feel like Royal
I enjoy it
Rumble
the most.
attracts people who are not even like necessarily wrestling fans. Like anybody can get behind a Rumble.
Yeah,
sure.
like me.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before. Like I'll watch a show that counts down the top 5 best numbers, and
we
so
love a
like
good list.
I love a
Yeah.
good list.
The top 5 numbers. I love that
I
shit
love a
so
good
much.
countdown, and
We
so
love a
like
good
yeah,
list.
send people out every 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes, and I am on board.
Yeah.
You know what? When I said it, I go, wait a minute, no, maybe the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's presented as like, SummerSlam and Rumble are kind of like 2A and 2B at this point.
Yeah, they also present Triple H as though he knows something about business. so-
Well, that's true.
Right. They're real big on this is the best thing.
Always. So that's the
Right.
thing, WWE every year. This is the greatest WrestleMania of all
They're
time.
huge
Until
on
next year's.
superlatives.
Yeah, they need
There's
everything to be
2.5 million people in this 20,000 person arena.
I didn't know it held 20,000 people that night. All right, this is Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio.
Sure was.
Kurt Angle, legitimate Olympic gold medalist, won it with a broken freaking neck. An actual freak of an athlete, like
Yeah.
in insane. A lot of people say that he's the guy who picked up wrestling the fastest and was the best at it, like picking it up. Rey Mysterio, often considered the best luchador of all time.
Yeah.
Greatest mass wrestler of all time. The fact that he's still wrestling today blows my fucking mind. Also, when you go...
Is he unmasked now?
No. So there was a time in a company called WCW.
Oh, okay.
It was either 99 or 2000 where they did have him take his mask off.
Okay.
And that in Mexican wrestling and lucha libre, that is like a big deal.
Right.
Yes. I know we've talked about like your liking of Mexican culture.
Yes.
And that's a really big deal when a wrestler has to unmask.
Right.
And a lot of people were like, "This is fucking bullshit" when it happened. When WCW went out of business in 2001, Ray signed with the WWE in 2002. And immediately you put that mask back on.
Okay.
And you know why you put the mask on? Number one, it looks cooler. Number two, we could sell those to kids.
Yeah.
Merchandise, we're going to make $1 million off masks this year, you know?
And I bet they did.
So why WCW took him out of that mask, still I don't fucking understand it. It was a weird time.
Well, there's a reason why they're not a company anymore.
That's one of many reasons why they're not a company anymore. And coming soon, there's going to be a series, which maybe both of you can watch and we can talk about, called Who Killed WCW.
That sounds like a fun thing.
It was me. Spoiler alert.
It's going to be a 4-part series on...
Michelle was like, I killed it with my hate.
It's going to be a 4-part series on Vice. I think The Rock is one of the producers, so maybe it'll come out 6 to 8 months after it's supposed to. Who knows?
I love Vice because they're like, let's do this show where you just... Like, let's just have a show where we have a whole bunch of rappers and they just, I don't know, eat drugs. Yeah. And then, like, the next thing that they're going to do is, like, an expose on who killed WCW. And then next they're going to have, like, here's just a burned out squat people live in.
Yeah.
Vice is nuts.
It's so wild.
Didn't I ask that question? We were talking about something and I was like, do they have, like, reporters from Vice or whatever? And you guys are like, they have shows.
Yeah, there's...
Okay, I've got a dog licking my feet.
Oh, no, don't lick the feet.
That sounds about right.
They're the ones that show that Dark Side of the Ring show.
Yes.
And, like, that got so popular that now they're like, hey, what other wrestling shows can we show, you know? So, all right, so Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. So, again, reason why, and Marcus suggested this, and again, thank you, Marcus. This is considered the greatest opening to a show match ever. It's less than 10 minutes.
This was an opening.
Yeah, this was the opening match to the show.
Okay.
So in wrestling, when you have an opener, you really want it to wake the people up. You know, you want the crowd to get super into it. And also the crowd's typically the hottest at the beginning of a show.
Yeah.
They're ready. They're there. You know, they're ready to cheer. They're ready to boo. They're excited. It's a big pay-per-view. And your opener is usually like your second most important match on the show than your main event. I feel that anyway.
I could see that.
So this kicks the show off. Mm-hmm. And again, this is considered like the best opening match ever. Mm-hmm. And it shows you, and when Marcus suggested it, I was like, this is perfect to counteract a 45-minute match because do you feel that these two accomplished as much in less than 10 minutes as Omega and Okada did in 45?
I feel like that's such a hard question because it's so different.
It's different. I do agree.
I do feel like just because it's not the WWE style, like I feel like they didn't tell the story in the ring as much. And so like, they definitely didn't accomplish as much because they weren't trying to, right? Like most of their story was already like set up. And so they're just like out there wrestling and it wasn't as much like, I don't know. It didn't feel like there wasn't as much to set up in the ring. But do I feel like they captivate, like, do I feel like the other match needed to be 45 minutes? I don't.
Okay. That's perfect.
I don't know, Tatum. What do you think?
No, I think it did, and maybe it was just me reading way too much into it. I did not watch the backstory thing that you had sent.
Yeah,
because
I did.
that was
you
45
did?
minutes.
Oh my God, you did too?
Yeah, well, DJ put it on.
Okay.
He did fast forward through some of the stuff that was just like wrestling.
Yeah,
but,
there
like,
was some of it where you didn't really need
and
it.
so much of
Yeah.
it was just fucking Stephanie McMahon and her like super 90s like lip liner and like her frosted, like, you know, the kind of frosted lip and like the light blue eyeshadow. And I was just like, she's so very 90s.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Freaking Tide.
But yeah, I watched it.
I was looking for an option to watch it in double time to get through it, so I could just like get through it, and I didn't. And
Does YouTube not have that option?
I don't know. I guess I was just watching it on my phone, and I was
So also
in the
with-
back room as
with
well.
this, there's not like really stakes to this match.
Right.
You know, like it's not like Okada and Omega was this big culmination of, you know, biggest main event, biggest show of the year. You know, it's a fun little feud, and that's really all it is. Kurt Angle, his character at the time he was bald and he was fucking hilarious.
He was like such a bully. That
He
was
was so funny though. Like
that was the main thing that I got from like watching the pre like
yeah,
I don't know.
background.
Yeah.
the optional homework, the extra credit.
Yeah, the extra credit. Yeah.
The main thing I got from that is like he was a bully.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you got that like so much in the ring.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I was like wondering if you did.
Yeah.
So one of the things leading up to the match, Ray pins him in like a multi-man match, and he's like, "I can't believe I got pinned by a freaking 12-year-old."
Yeah.
You know, like, and like,
He also called him like an illegal.
yeah,
He didn't. What did he? He didn't say
said,
illegal
like,
immigrant. Like
cucaracha and stuff too.
illegal
Yeah.
citizen or something. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
calling him something weird.
Okay.
Again, 2002, it's a different fucking
2002 is a very different time. And actually, is it okay to talk about this takeaway for me now
Of course.
before
You
we
can
talk
talk-
into like the wrestling?
whatever you want.
Okay, so here was one of my biggest takeaways from this, and you know, just some of the ways that he was acting and whatever. And he was obviously Captain America, and
He's an American hero.
right, an American hero. This was a wildly obvious just post 9/11 storyline
Okay.
that
I can show you worse than WWE did at the time.
oh, I'm sure.
But I get what you're saying,
I'm sure you can. And the whole story in the ring that I got not watching any of the backstory, you know, he comes out, he's wearing his gold medal, which especially back then, like people were way more obsessed with than they are now.
I do agree with that.
And so it's this the American hero entering the ring, and then the luchador comes out who was, I could see Kurt Angle's athleticism. I do understand that he is like obviously a base, and a lot of the things that Mysterio could do is because of having like a big guy like him.
Yeah.
But I thought that Mysterio was way more athletic and impressive with some of the things that he could do. But again, I knew that Kurt Angle was going to win because Mysterio was just like going nuts the whole time.
I agree with that. Like I
And-
also knew he was gonna win.
Right. But it felt like a very typical, like this is the summer just post 9/11.
Yeah.
Right? We are still all obsessed with these kinds of things and like America good, everybody else bad. And that just felt like very obvious to me
So
in a very quick storyline.
Yeah.
So with that though, Angle's the bad guy here, and he gets booed.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
mean, I thought he was the bad guy,
Yeah.
but that's not, you know what I mean.
I know, yeah. Like Rey Mysterio, I don't think has ever been a bad guy,
Right.
like ever.
I liked him.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is amazing. To this day, he's still amazing.
He's feisty.
There was a moment where he like did like a flip and then like grabbed Kurt Angle with his feet and flipped him.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Angle picked him up and like somehow Rey Mysterio like used his legs to like flip Kurt Angle while he was like midair. It didn't even make sense to me. Like physically, it felt like it should have been impossible. And I was so impressed by that.
Yeah.
Because it felt like he just was like, I don't know, like pulled his legs out of midair and like flipped it and switched it. And I was like, that was amazing.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So
you have to be so strong.
At this point, Kurt Angle's only 3 or 4 years into wrestling. Like
What?
Yeah. Like, his debut in the WWF was 99.
Because
But he won the gold medal in 96.
Oh, yeah. But he wasn't pro wrestling, you know.
But he was like,
Okay.
it was like
Yeah.
wrestling, but it's like Greco-Roman. Right?
Wait, I think I remember this story of like,
He's from Pittsburgh.
I did know
Pittsburgh
that.
guy.
Well, I knew that from his introduction.
You're damn right. From beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Angle, like pro wrestling at this point, yeah, he's only like 3 or 4 years into it.
Okay.
And that's why he's often considered like the fastest guy who picked it up and like just the greatest who he got it. And it's more like his in ring, obviously, like as you just described, Michelle, incredible.
Yeah.
You know, he could do it all. He could wrestle the big guys, the little guys, did not matter. Mm-hmm. And his character work stuff, he was so fucking funny. Like, he's just like, you know, they used to make fun of him because he cried when he won the Olympic, like the gold medal and stuff, and he used to like come
What
out
a monster.
instead of Austin Steve Austin would drink beer, he would drink milk, you know, like because he was like a good boy, you know.
Yeah. All American, Captain America.
It's so funny. I guess because I watched like the stuff leading up to it, I felt totally different about him. Like I just felt like he was such an asshole.
I mean, I also felt like he was an asshole, but like all of those kinds of things, like he was Steve Rogers.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, essentially. Like he was, but in wrestling, the crowd is like, fuck you, you suck. His theme song used to chant, you suck at me, you know? So yeah, again, like this is under 10 minutes, and it feels like this doesn't feel like a match in WWE. You know, like this feels like you could put this in an AEW or a New Japan or wherever else. You know, it just like how you described Angle being a base for Mysterio. Yeah, and the stuff that Mysterio was able to do with him, it's just such another breakneck like guys. Take a fucking break. Like you're gonna blow each other up, and they just don't.
Straight from the jump, though, because Angle comes in his, you know, grand entrance and whatever, and as they're still like announcing Mysterio, he comes from the other side of the ring, jumps up on the ropes, and immediately attacks him from behind. Yeah. And that I was wild. Like, okay, it's a sucker punch, but I kind of liked that.
Like just the timing to pull that off, though. It's like the top rope springboard, and like jumps over Angle's head, catches him with his ankles, and flips him. Like, just the timing on that alone, you're like, holy shit! Like how are they doing this? I loved when Ray went for it was towards the end of the match. He had Angle up on the top rope, and he goes for that Hurricane Rana, but Angle just jumps down and grabs him into the ankle lock. Yeah, like again, I'm like, dude, this shit is so smooth. Like, oh, it's so cool, and they do so much in less than 10 minutes. And there's a big thing in wrestling where a lot of people feel like if it's not at least 15 minutes, like it's not good, which I don't agree with that. It shows you can get so much done in such a short amount of time, and you just have to be willing to work for it, you know? And again, this is a match where there's no slip-ups. Everything is crisp. Yeah. And you're looking at two of the best to ever do it. Yeah. Michelle, did you have like any pros or cons from it, or?
I was just super amazed by like Rey Mysterio being able to do the things that he was able to do. Yeah. And like it's so much different from so much of the, even like the flippy wrestling that you usually see in, like with American wrestling companies and, I guess even to some extent like New Japan. Like everything I've seen, it's mostly like arm or your whole body. And so like this was the first time I really saw somebody like use their legs in wrestling that much. And so it was like way different because it was like flippier. And I don't know, it's just a different style of wrestling, which I guess is like closer to like luchador wrestling in Mexico. I don't really know.
Yeah,
but
so Lucha Libre, that is admittedly like a blind spot for me. I know a little, I don't know a lot. And when I do watch it, sometimes I'm just like, no, this isn't for me. Other times I'm completely captivated. Mm-hmm. And Rey Mysterio is the best luchador ever, in my opinion. And it's just cool to see like the two different styles kind of mesh here. And it works, you know. DJ always talks about one of his favorite matches is a guy named Zack Sabre Jr. He's like a grappling guy against Tomohiro Ishii, who's just going to punch you in your mouth.
Yeah.
And it just works. I don't know, style, like they say, styles make fights, you know? And you have Angle, who's more of like that ground-based suplex, like, I'm going to dump you on your head and there's nothing you can do about it, against Rey Mysterio, who's faster than anybody in there, doing insane flips, arm drags, like you said, using his legs for like Hurricane Ranas and stuff. It's fucking crazy, and I love it so
the
much.
Hurricane Ranas.
the Hurricane Ranas.
Herkamananas.
Yeah, the Frankensteiners, right?
The Hurricane
Yeah, Hurkamadanas. All right.
String of pose.
There's nothing to it.
Tam, did you have anything else about this match?
No, I did, you know, I did think that it was really good for what it was. It was really good for WWE. I think that if I figured anything out by this point, it's that I do prefer AEW to WWE. And
Same.
Yeah. And but no, I thought it was good. Let me look at my notes. I mean, I thought they were both really good. There was like retaliation and surprise at every single contact. It wasn't like tons of downtime in between. I did really enjoy that. And the refs didn't stutter or hesitate when they were doing their counts. I don't like when it's obvious, you know, like watching these things and having like gymnastics backgrounds and having a little sister who was a cheerleader and whatever, like there are things that I can see that like I don't want to see.
I get that. No, I get that completely. Michelle, did you have any final thoughts on this?
I have two final thoughts. One is I wish Rey Mysterio would ditch those color contacts. I hate them.
He still does them sometimes.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah, I've seen him like wear them now, and they're just like
It was 2002.
weird.
That was a really big thing.
I know, but in like 2024 context, it's so weird, and I just can't stand it. But the other thing is just like that submission hold and like the tap out. I really hated that, and like especially because I think because Kurt Angle was like the bad guy, and because he was such a bully, and he like made all these like horrible comments like leading up to it, and then Rey Mysterio had to like tap out. I hated that. That
was the only way that it was going to happen though, right? Because he like Mysterio is, like I said, he's feisty, he's running around, he is so fast, he is getting himself out of the most insane situations. So he's not going to be able to hold him down. So the only thing he's going to be able to do is to get him to submit. Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, with Mysterio, it was always like the story of attack the legs. You take the legs out of the high flyer, they can't high fly anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't remember who did it in Dynamite yesterday. Like somebody tapped out from a submission hold.
So that was Claudio Castagnoli had Brian Cage in a sharpshooter.
Yeah. That's right. It's the pony guy. Yeah. Who was dressed even more like that My Little Pony, by the way. He was wearing the same colors and everything. Yeah, he looked like the pony guard. But then when that happened, I was like, oh, I hate that. And I was like, oh, I learned that I don't like that. Yeah. I want you to pin somebody. Yeah. Or I want you to both get thrown out of the ring somehow simultaneously.
Yeah. Like the 94
yeah, exactly. When I broke the soundboard.
You did break the soundboard and it was the best. All right. So speaking of sounds, we have one final question. As long as I could pull up where the fucking sound is on my phone. All right, here's a jingle.
And now the Tim Taylor question of the week.
That was way louder than I thought it was going to be. All right, so for the TTQOTW, the Tim Taylor question of the week, he says, whether you like to admit it or not, you two, referring to Michelle and Tatum, both have natural instincts for what is good or bad in wrestling. So, how can you tell? What are your telltale signs of what is good and what is bad?
I mean, we're women. We just have great instincts.
True story.
That's a fucking great answer, to be honest. Tim, I don't think I could say anything that's better than that.
I also think that it's just storytelling. You know what I mean? So like there is an element of like storytelling to it where, you know, when you can't tell if it's good or bad, then you just know it's bad because then you know like they're not actually telling a story. But it's almost like the same way that you can analyze like a book or poetry or a movie or like a TV show or
Absolutely.
a play. Like they are doing things that are telling that story. And so it's like the same kind of like muscle to analyze wrestling, I guess.
Yeah, I'll fully co-sign that.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I can't say it any better than what both of you just said. And that was more so a question to you guys because Tim knows what I like in wrestling and what I feel is good and what is bad. And what is bad is Cody Rhodes. Tim, sorry.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is bad, and I actually have something to say to Tim before we move on.
Oh.
Tim, just make your fucking haircut appointments. And then
True.
then if you need to, cancel them 48 hours ahead of time and just reschedule it. It's really not that hard. It's going to prevent you from being in these situations. And the fact that you called getting a trim a waste of time felt like a personal attack. So I just wanted to let you know that you have another feud up here at the compound.
Damn, Tim.
What happened?
Tim's making enemies left and right.
Right?
That's what happened. Holy shit.
Tatum just did a promo on Tim.
Yeah, that's damn. I felt like I should just be playing Tupac's "Hit 'Em Up" real quick too. Like, holy shit.
No, I'm just fucking with you, but seriously, it's not that hard.
Earlier, Tim, you just got ethered. Holy hell! Oh my god.
Just make an appointment. I've been compiling a list of hairstylists in your area that I think would be reasonable for you to go to. You can stop going to Sport Clips because they did you dirty, man. It's okay.
Don't go to
2024.
Sport Clips.
What are you going to Sport Clips? What are we doing?
Right?
Come on.
It's the Dollar General of hairstyling.
What are we doing, Tim?
What are we doing?
Tim, I love you so much.
I'm gonna
Get a
find
grown-up's
you
haircut.
someone real good. Don't worry about it.
Tim,
Yeah.
you're in good hands. I love you, buddy. Sorry about your hair. I don't know.
I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry too.
Tim was indecisive about his hair, and he went to Sport Clips.
Don't go to Sport
Don't go to
Clips.
Sport Clips. Come on.
Yeah, next time that you're feeling it, like, okay, this is just a good message for everyone out there. If you're ever feeling like you might walk into a Sport Clips, a Great Clips, any hair salon that ends in clips, anything with like sport or great in the name, just phone a friend. Call us. Call me. Call Tatum. We will talk you down off that ledge and get you into an appropriate hair salon where you're going to get a grown-up's haircut.
For most of my career, I traveled all over the country. I have contacts in literally every single state. I can find you a great hairstylist or barber.
See?
And if you get a good haircut, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel more confident,
Tim, I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
right?
Let's get you some good hair.
Can capsize the boat of lies that you've been living in. I don't
Whatever
know
he
any of the
says.
words to that song, really.
You will understand. That's
That song about meth, too?
I don't know. Is it?
No,
I
that
don't
one's
know.
about
I just-
suicide.
Oh.
Well, that makes sense. Suicide because you did so much meth.
Yeah, stepping off that ledge. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right. I mean, is there anything else like you two want to talk about in general? Well, not in general because we'll be here for an hour, I'm sure. Anything? Anything you guys have? Wrestling in general? Any
Do you have
questions for me? Any questions for each other?
I guess like just the one last thing that I'll say before we get out of the wrestling topic here is I fucking hate the Young Bucks.
She means the Toby multiverse.
Yeah,
I fucking hate them too.
Oh, the Young Bucks. Oh.
Fucking.
It sucks because I like what they're actually doing on TV right now, but they still suck.
Well, it's interesting because it's like I like.
Or no, I was talking about House of Black.
Oh yes, House of Black.
House of Black.
Oh, I like.
I don't know who that is.
No, I hate the Young Bucks though.
They're the two real tattooed ones, and then the one with no tattoos.
Oh, the one it's like where it gets dark and then they just pop up out of
Malachi
nowhere.
Black and Brody King and
Yeah.
Buddy Matthews, and then they have Julia Hart with them too.
Yep.
They come out to Twitching Tongues
Okay.
and Dead Body, so that rules.
I don't know what any of that meant.
They're hardcore bands, and we like those.
Um,
Come on now.
but yeah, I mean, the Young Bucks, I like that they're doing like we're the bad businessmen angle, but like, fucking hate them.
Yeah.
They look like idiots.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are idiots. They talk like idiots.
They're jerks. I do agree with that. Anything else from you, Tatum? Anything else? Any questions, concerns, comments?
No, I think I was talking last night because obviously I said I was going to follow Tony Storm and
yes,
and
Toni
I am. And you like Tony Storm too, right?
She's like the old Hollywood one.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. So I knew that I wanted to follow her, and on Saturday when what is her name? Who fought Mariah last night?
Oh, Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb. When she came out on Saturday and she challenged Mariah, I already knew what was going to happen, and I am going to call that I think Mariah is going to turn soon against Tony.
Very good. All right.
And so I knew that this was going to be like this thing for the match, but that's it. That's all I.
In a backstage promo
And
last
also,
night,
I don't love Mariah.
Oh, come on. I
Sorry.
love Mariah, man. She's wonderful. In a backstage promo that was on the internet last night, Toni Storm said that she was going to peg Serena Deeb.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might not mean what she meant it to mean.
No, she meant it.
She meant
Oh,
it.
all right.
And then she, her butler Luther was talking because he's from Canada. He was talking about the history of Winnipeg, and she comes and grabs him and she says, "Luther, time to wash me." She's wonderful, and I never want her
wild.
to end.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She's the best.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
She's.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say she's at least in there trying to like make that AEW women's division more competitive with WWE's because I like AEW better. I mean, I don't like any of it, but like if I had to watch something, I absolutely
cracking.
don't want to watch WWE. Like I don't want anything to do with it. But what I will say is that they have up like the one up on AEW is the women's division.
The women's division, yeah.
AEW's women's division has definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
So I do agree. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I'm out of questions. I don't have any other questions.
No.
You want to wrap this shit up?
Yeah, I think we need to let Michelle get to bed.
Yeah. It is already almost 20 to 10. Past your bedtime.
Yeah, I do have a lot of work to do, so I'll probably be up at 5 a.m.
You didn't tell me that. Oh, I wish I would have known that.
Oh, no, it's all right. I wake up at 5 a.m. most days anyway, so
Then I don't feel as bad. All right.
when I sleep, I mean, the most I ever really sleep in is 7. That's my sleeping in.
Yeah.
That's...
But,
God damn, you're wild.
but normally I get up at 5.
So I guess I'll do the plugs if I can remember them. At We Need Wrestling on Twitter, WeNeedWrestling.com, WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com. Email anything, any thoughts, any questions you have for Michelle or Tatum, and we'll pass along their answers to you. Soon to be named Network Discord. We have our channel in there. Any questions again, thoughts you have, whatever. It's a fun place to be. We have the We Need Wrestling channel. Then also on Soon to Be Named Network, there is At Odds with Wrestling with Joe and Adam. Final Wrestling Place with Tim and Marcus. Wings on Wings, which
That's us.
Hey, Wings on Wings. Listen to Wings on Wings.
which the three of us are on along with DJ and Doug. We don't have many more episodes for the show, do we?
No, we got some plans.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We got some other shit cooking.
We got
which is
things
fun.
in the works.
Yeah. What else is on there? Puzzle Warriors 3.
Long
Profane
Box Heroes.
arguments.
Oh, yeah. Long Box Heroes. How the fuck did I forget? Long Box Heroes After Dark. Todd, he'll yell at me because he totally listens to podcasts.
Borscht Talk.
Yeah. Porch Talk. Sometimes there's Sports Talk. That happens every now and again with football coming soon. I'm sure you'll find it eventually. Is that it? I don't know. Do you guys have anything to plug? You want to plug about yourselves? Is that a no?
I don't really have anything to plug, I guess. You can follow me on Instagram or
What's your handle?
You have to get that out.
I actually don't know it.
Is it Blonde Michelle R?
Blonde Michelle.
Oh yeah, that's what it
We
is.
know you better than you know
You do, yeah. I don't know who I am.
And you can follow me at Tatum Allure or my salon, Thallow Beauty Collective, and watch our super silly, ridiculous videos.
Yeah, you guys do good social media.
We have fun.
I don't know how to do that. I really don't.
Go follow at _Wings on Wings on Twitter,
Yes.
Instagram, or TikTok.
We Need Wrestling. We also have an Instagram at We Need Wrestling. We're gonna try. We always say we're gonna try to use it, and then we just don't. I'm not a big Instagrammer. I'll post stories, but posting, whatever to me. I don't post on Facebook either. That's rare. I'm a Twitter guy. Even then, I get annoyed with that though too, as we all should.
As we all should.
Twitter is a hellscape now. It used to be much better.
It certainly is. Well, thank you both so much. Seriously, I was looking forward to this all week.
It was
and
fun.
I was like, I hope I don't give you something where you're like, this fucking sucks, bitch. And I'm glad I didn't. And that makes me happy. And I hope everybody enjoys it. Anytime either of you want to come back on, you are more than welcome. It's always a blast to have you two. And I'm going to go watch the Sixers who are getting blown out right now. So way to go with Sixers. At least I don't have to watch any more basketball. Bye.
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 You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Oh yeah.
All right, fans, stay tuned. More exciting World Wrestling Federation action coming up in just a moment or two. Last Saturday, tremendous turnout for the World Wrestling Federation event. And we're going to be back in Providence at the Civic Center for the annual Wrestling Holiday Spectacular on Thursday night, December the 26th. One match already signed. Junkyard Dog to meet my guest at this time, Terry Funk, along with manager Jimmy Hart.
Do you know that you're looking at the person that was middle-aged and crazy like a fox, meaner than rattlesnake, tougher than shoe leather? Is that right or not?
Number one, baby, always.
Hey, more dangerous than a hollow-eyed scorpion? What happened to all of that? My reputation was entirely destroyed right on national television. What happened on national television? I'm asking you.
Your
what
manager got
happened?
pants.
My manager got pants? You absolutely serious? Don't you realize I beat the Junkyard Dog? How would you like for me to go ahead and tear your pants from your body right now?
No.
Spin you around and burn your buns
I'm a
right here
family
on
man.
television.
Please.
No. Sure, you would probably like it because you are that type of person. You are that type of pervert. You are the same thing as that jackass himself that took advantage of my 157-pound manager. He treated him like a wimp. Well, he might be a wimp, but this wimp has got guts. You, tell these fans right now what exactly you are going to do to the Junkyard after I beat him.
You took one on a short
I'll give
there,
you
Jimmy
1
Hart.
minute with him.
Gonna bust you by your nose.
Hey, easy
and
with
then
the
I'm gonna
microphone.
scratch his eyes out, and then I'm gonna take this brain and give me the brain and give it to me, give it to me.
What are you doing?
And I'm gonna humiliate you.